bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100 and pretty good form, Bernie.
Welcome, everyone. Season 22-23 is upon us. Welcome to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. This is the first edition. This will be a very, very short one, just a real intro, just to get the show back on the road. If you've forgotten who I am, my name's Orazio Santalucia. And not only am I doing a bit of the media this year for the PCA, I've actually been roped into being the president of the PCA. Probably met a few of you now. You guys that do watch and listen to the Pavilion. I'm trying to find the best spot to stand or sit even. Anyway, new president of the association got voted in at the last AGM, which was in June. And ever since we've been doing a lot of work to try to get season 22-23 off the ground and, do our best to try to progress the association moving forward. So a lot of things have been happening in the off season. Obviously, we ended the season on a high. We had some fantastic results in the grand final, the grand final of the PCA season. We had new A-grade premiers in Warnbro, which was fantastic. We saw an amazing display of cricket, really, from the brothers Ugle. Dane, who just continued on his merry way and clearly the best player in the competition last year, carried the team on his back. Ably supported by his brother. Between them, they just took over that grand final, and it was amazing to watch. Really, really amazing game to watch. Two determined players really just took the game on. Basically said to the rest of the teammates, said, "Come with us, we'll lead the way." And it was quite fitting at the end that both the brothers Ugle were out there and the winning runs were hit. In pretty tricky sort of conditions. Obviously the pitch was under the covers for a while. It was a late start. We had that wet grand final weekend, which is sod's law, really. When you play cricket finals, it's happened throughout cricket history, and will continue to happen, no doubt. But great win by Warnbro last year. We had unfortunate, I guess, with the B grade going down to a who finished on top, and that was Shoalwater. So end of the day, the team that finished top, there is a benefit to finishing higher up the table, and they got the rub of the green. We had South Mandurah do very well in C grade, and they won the C grade premiership. D grade was just the most unbelievable game I reckon I've ever heard of anyway. I know they were just on the ground behind us in the grand final, and you kept hearing a lot of cheering and going on what was going on. You're trying to follow the score, and you're seeing the score, and you just think, nah, that's someone's taking the mick there. But when a team gets bowled out for 58 in a grand final, you're probably thinking you ain't got much of a chance, and then to bowl a team out for 40 odd whatever it was, that's just ridiculous. So well done to Hall's Head in that one. E grade, we had White Knights Baldivis get over the line there, and in D grade, Warnbro just continued the party, and then A grade and F grade won, and that, well, I know that it meant that the Warnbro Swans Cricket Club had quite an enjoyable weekend. They had a lot of dog walkers that just happened to be around Peel Reserve last season, at the end of last season, which was March now, I think it was. It doesn't seem that long ago, does it? Anyway, that's where we are. And but that was last year. And essentially everyone starts on zero. Well, they do. And the table doesn't exist until the first game is won or lost. And we look forward to an exciting season this year for 22-23. So what's new? what's new other than having a pretty new executive? We've got myself as the president, Dan Coles, who was the vice president last season. He's moved into the operations manager role. So thank you to Rob Wallace for his years of service there. I've taken over Terry Arnold, as you know, and Terry did a great job there. So thank you, Terry, for your services there as well. We've got some new committee members. We've got a new vice president. That's Richard Jarvis. So welcome, Richard, to the team. He's doing some great work behind the scenes, and in particular, one of his part of his portfolio, I guess, is to provide a new website. So for those of you out there, everything we do is going to basically go through the website. So if you think of any major corporation these days, it's go to the website. You can't even phone anybody. Banks don't have branches really anymore. You can't pick up the phone and talk to anybody because you don't talk to anyone. You talk to a robot. And it's always go to the website, go to the website, go to the website. We've listened to the feedback. And the feedback is that it's been a little bit difficult to have clear lines of communication, I guess, and for people to know what's happening within the league. So we thought we'd invest some of the funds of the association, which is obviously your money, your funds, and create a brand new website. So it's live now. So it's peelcricket.com. Pretty simple address to remember. A lot of our committee addresses come off that. So like mine, if you want to contact me as the president, it's simply president@peelcricket.com. We have operations at peelcricket.com, vice president@peelcricket.com. Very, very simple. And the whole idea is that everything we do, it'll be transparent, it'll be clear, be it committee meeting notes, there'll be all the resources will be there, nominations and registrations for things like our representative program, which I'll go through a little bit later on, and anything like that. The history of the competition, we're going to do a real deep dive into that, and we'll keep on upgrading it. And look, the page is up now. It's not a finished product, no, but it's I think it's a much better, it's cleaner, it's a lot tidier, and it's a lot more accessible, and there'll be a lot more on it than there was on the previous one. And if you have any suggestions or there's things that you'd like to see on the website, please write in. Like I said, president@peelcricket.com, and we'll discuss it. And end of the day, it's there to be used, and it's there for clear lines of communication. And if you guys are sort of saying, well, hey, it doesn't make it any clearer, or we'd like to see this, or we'd like to see that, we'll do what we can to make it work. And if it sort of fits in, we'll give it a go. What else is new this year? Next week, October the 11th, not a bad day, that one, hint. Round one of the Retrovision Premier T20 competition, that exciting part of our cricket, our suite of cricket that we offer the cricketers in the Peel and surrounding regions. It's back, and it'll be bigger and better than ever. Watch this space. Like last season, it'll be live telecast every game. Every game will be live commentated ball by myself, and with special guests throughout. Really looking forward to seeing how the clubs tackle it this season. Last season saw a real big, understanding of the competition, I guess, and clubs sort of saw it as a real opportunity to show off a little bit, have a bit of fun, bring some new people in, and to see the caliber of the guest players was sensational. And I look forward to seeing what clubs have got up their sleeve this season, because it's a real exciting part of the comp, and the opportunity to bring in, like Mandurah last season had, Chris Sarberg, to have, your Davenports from Fremantle, we had captains of Premier League clubs come and play in our competition. We had a Perth Scorcher there. The opportunity is sensational. And I think the competition will just continue to grow and grow. And probably my favorite part of it is the fact that there's been a lot of really good cricketers come through this area and continue on in their career, which is great. It's a great advert for the competition, and to have that ability to invite them back to their home club, and they can pull on the colours of their home club, where it all started. and you know, the arms are open. They come back and they represent their club of origin. I think that's a fantastic part of the competition, and really, really exciting to see. So it'll be good to see how clubs go this year. I am very confident that everyone will have numbers on the back of their shirts, which would be great. It makes my job and the scorer's job a lot easier. And I think everyone's going to get a little bit better at playing T20 cricket. And the more we understand the format, the better it'll be. So that kicks off this coming Tuesday. Just quickly, I should know who's playing, but I don't. There's been so much going on with the competition to get it up and running. It's just been so hard to sort of keep up with where we are. I can't believe that we're here and we're going to be playing in 2 days' time. But round one will be Singleton Irwinians versus White Knights Baldivis, and that will be exciting. It'll be interesting to see. There's been some movement at both clubs in regards to recruits and players that have moved on and things like that. So I don't really know too much about who's playing where. I'll know a bit more as the season goes ahead. I don't mind not knowing. I think it's like it'll be like not knowing what you're going to get for Christmas or something like that. It's going to be a surprise no matter what, and I'll be very, very interested to see how each team lines up this coming season. So Tuesday, 6 o'clock start. It is 6:30 start. Sorry, 6:30 start. Peelwood Reserve, as per last year, live ball-by-ball coverage on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket channel, which is our YouTube channel. So look it up on YouTube. You should subscribe to that channel. We'll do more and more with it moving forward. So you'll get these podcasts plus the show, and we'll look to do some other bits and bobs throughout. There'll be links from our website. So if you're not sure where to go, you can go to our website, peelcricket.com. Remember that one. And then you'll find the links to the channel, all that sort of stuff. Our social media pages, obviously, we've got Facebook page and an Instagram page. Not quite going down the TikTok route just yet. My dancing's probably not good enough for TikTok. Might be able to get one of the other committee members. Might be an Ash Wyborn sort of thing, I reckon. So Ash Wyborn is part of the PCA committee yet again. He's taken a bit of a leading hand with the female side of things. We're really keen to really progress that. Over the last few years, we've been proud of the way that the competition's grown. The numbers have grown in the female space, and we're really keen to sort of continue that pathway moving forward and provide more opportunities for women to play the different formats that are available. So there might be a little bit of a tweak to the rules this year to sort of help that progression through. We're really confident we're going to be able to provide a bit of a hardball opportunity for those that want to play. It might be a little short, sharp sort of thing. We might get some coaching, and it'll sort of be part of a preparation for that group of women that put their hand up and represent the zone and the association in the Women's Country Week, which this season will actually be played at the back end of the season, and it's going to be in Bunbury, so not so far to travel. And we really think it'll really continue to grow. So watch this space with that one as well. So the women, their competition will continue to grow and grow. And one last exciting piece of news, I'll get that out, is the introduction from B grade down of a little T20 competition within the season. So with the numbers and the way the nominations have gone this season, we had a bit of a look at it. And then a couple of guys on the committee sort of thought, well, the way it's sort of structured, everyone's going to go around nearly 3 times. Now, you want to play your opposition teams 3 times round? Probably not. And there's a little bit, most of the grades have got an uneven number. So that means I guess the integrity of the draw is going to be put under pressure because there's no way of going around 3 times exactly. So someone or some teams aren't going to play each other 3 times. Some will. That's always going to throw up real curly ones. And, you know, you make a draw. You don't got no idea what teams are what and how that works. But at the end of the season, we didn't want to have any sort of discussions or arguments or challenges, I guess, on that because you literally got no idea. And the work that Dan Coles, our operations manager, is done with the fixturing. If you knew, it's a lot of hard work. We understand and we appreciate that clubs are doing everything they can and pushing registrations as late as they can and nominations for teams and all that sort of stuff. But that the fallback on that means that basically fixturing gets harder and harder, because one day you've gone with what you think it is, and then it changes because there's a bit of movement between grades and all that sort of stuff. So the draw has probably been done about 15 times by now. So thanks, Dan, for all your hard work there. And pretty confident that by tomorrow, so tomorrow, this is Thursday, I'm recording this, so by Friday, the 7th of October, yes, it is late, yes, we're down to the last minute, but that's how the nominations have been coming in, and we've been as accommodating as we can, putting the Peel Cricket Association front and centre, and trying to be as even and create as even a competition as we can. So there's going to be some, most people will be, yep, not a problem. And there'll be the odd club that'll think, oh, geez, it's not quite what we wanted and all that sort of stuff. But in the best interest of the whole competition, we had to make some decisions. And one of them, which I think is an absolute positive and something that's really going to help put our name out there again, is the fact that we've got a little T20 comp within the season. So essentially what that means is everyone will play each other twice throughout the season, home and away, which is what you want. And there's also a T20 comp in the middle of that. So that'll be in that sort of December period. And we know how hard it is for teams in that period because, you know, life happens. People go on holidays or parties or whatever it is. And clubs have traditionally found it difficult to get full numbers in that period. So having the T20 option opens up numerous opportunities. So it opens up opportunities to maybe recruit some players, you know, throughout the season. You might be able to call back some players that might have hung up the boots, or who knows, you know, circumstances change and all that sort of stuff. You say, well, there's only a little three or four match little T20 comp here. Why don't you come back and play in those? And you know how it is. You play a game, you play two, you say, oh, yeah, this isn't too bad. And before you know it, you've got an extra player that's available within your squad that can come in and out of your teams and all that sort of stuff. So the opportunities are endless. And another beauty of it is that it gives teams another opportunity to win a trophy. And who doesn't like winning a trophy? So I think it's fantastic. The marketing that we can do off the back of it will be great. You know, we can even look at things like, you know, some commentary and all that sort of stuff. And I really think it might be a way forward and a way to sort of highlight how progressive we are here in the Peel Cricket Association. So what else has been happening? Another big positive, and we're only just recently able to sort of, just finalise things and make sure everyone was happy. Is you can probably see just behind me, I'll get a little bit lower just for now. That mob there, Retrovision. They're back on board. They're still with us. They're going to back us in. They've still got the Retrovision Premier T20 competition. They've still got the naming rights there. If I go this way, that mob there, ESA Sport, they're back on board as well. So that's fantastic. So remember, Johnny Sanders there is just growing that little business day by day. It's getting bigger and bigger. He's got a brand new Flash website there. They're doing some great stuff. He's been doing a lot of good stuff in the winter. Part of that was a little collaboration, I believe, with just a guy by the name of Gary Ablett Jr. If you jump on his website there, esasport.com.au, you will just see a little picture of young John Sanders, and he's there with the great man, the two-time Brownlow medalist, countless premierships, you know, arguably one of the greatest AFL players to have walked the planet. I know his dad was, that's for sure, and so was Gary Jr., that's for sure. Anyway, so they're doing some great things and continue to grow. So if you need anything in regards to uniform, promotional equipment now, promotional gear, things like banners and teardrop banners and all that sort of stuff, they're the guys to go to. And another thing they also do, they do all the memorabilia and the sports star appearances. I know clubs have been using the services there. But one of the other big things they do is I'll go that way and, oh, no, that way. There we go. Point that way. Everlast sports drinks. Had a big season last year, the Everlast, and I dare say it'll be bigger and better than ever. So remember, clubs, now that you're in your pavilions and you're starting to stock up those fridges, if you're going to get some sports drinks, you know where to go. Everlast sports drinks. There's the phone number there. There's the email address there. You know where to go. Johnny Sandy, he'll look after you, no doubt. So Retrovision, they're the big boys. They're doing some great things in the region. They're not only sponsoring your Peel Cricket Association, they've got some fantastic partnerships with some of the clubs, and they're also a major sponsor out at our premier club in our region at Rockingham Mandurah District Cricket Club. They are the major sponsors out there as well. So the Lark Hill is now known as Retrovision Stadium, I believe, or Retrovision Oval. I'll have to confirm that. So I'll get that right, because otherwise Mr. Carl Sanders, who's the man that's doing a lot of the great stuff around the place, he'll get a bit angry with me. So sorry, Carl. I think it's Retrovision Oval or Retrovision Stadium, but I'll confirm that moving on next week. Well, so look, that'll probably be all for section 1. I'll come back in a minute for section 2 and the final section of this week's pod, the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We are back for season 22-23. My name is Orazio Santalucia. Nice, simple name for you to remember. And we'll be back after this break. Welcome back, everyone. We are here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly supported by Retrovision. Now, remember, Retrovision for all your electrical needs and electrical goods. As October comes around, you know that also means we're getting close to that period of the year where you got to start giving presents out and all that sort of stuff. That's Christmas, as you know. Now, Retrovision have got the best prices. They've got the best people. They've got all the good stuff, all the big brands. So look after the people that look after you. So that mob there in red, Retrovision, make sure that if you are in the market for a new fridge, a new TV, a new computer, even the barbecue stuff, they stock a lot of the Weber stuff. Now, I know a few of you guys out there are barbecue aficionados there, like to do, you know, a bit of the smoked brisket and all that sort of stuff. Well, if you're looking for your Weber gear, Retrovision's a place to go. So look out for Retrovision and look out throughout the season. We're going to have some really good promotions going on through the season. So look out for them. Okay. So what are we going to chat through this second part of the show? I won't keep you all much longer. So A grade for this week. So I won't go through all the grades, but I'll just go through the A grade games for this week. So one of the big changes in the off season was that South Mandurah Cricket Club, they've decided that they want to drop down a few leagues and sort of start again. They've had a few bit of player movement. We'll just leave it at that. And they'll be playing in the C grade competition this year. So that means that essentially there's a bye in the A grade this year. Not ideal, but that's what we've got, and we're just going to make it work. You can look at it as a positive or a negative. The positive is that teams get a week off here and there. Might give you time to recharge the batteries, all that sort of stuff, especially with player availabilities. And we've got a lot of workers that work, a bit of, at Alcoa and things like that. So we've got swing shifts and all sorts of stuff. So it might be a way to mitigate that sort of stuff anyway. So you can look at it as a negative or a positive. I'm a bit of a glass half full guy myself. So that's where we're at. So round one, unfortunately, this game was going to be played at a brand spanking new facility, which White Knights Baldivis have moved into. They're having their opening season launch tonight. I couldn't quite get there tonight, but so good luck to everyone out there at White Knights Baldivis. They've moved into their brand spanking new facility out there, the Baldivis District Sporting Complex. I believe that's what it's called. Geez, we've got to give it another name because that's bloody hopeless. But it's the shining light in the competition this year. I think it's quite exciting that we've had the City of Rockingham who support our competition. They've invested, them and the state government have invested a lot of money to provide the Baldivis as a whole with a fantastic new sporting facility. It's obviously a growing area. So they've got a brand spanking new toy to play with, new pitch, new pavilion, and all the stuff that comes with it. But unfortunately, it just hasn't quite got up in regards to the square just yet. So they're going to have to wait a week or so before they can get out on there. But that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. We can work through all that sort of stuff. So White Knights will be playing Hall's Head. It's going to be a big game to start off A-grade Wiley Cup. A bit on that name Wiley just a little bit later on too. So they're playing out at Stantwhite. The other game at Stantwhite will be Secret Harbour versus Mandurah. So both clubs have had a bit of player movement there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn up and how they're going to go for season 22-23. The team that starts a little bit later on, the team that's got the first bye of the competition, will be Singleton Irwinians. So might give them another week just to sort of tidy things up and get things ready for the week after. And the last game, there's two. There's one that's hiding there in my cricket there. This will be the last year of my cricket, by the way. We were going to move to Play HQ, as is some of Australia, but WA Cricket decided to give it one more year. There's just a few bugs to still iron out before we move on to Play HQ. And my cricket will be no more. So the champions, the team that will be hunted, Warnbro, they take on Waroona at their home ground at Curry Street on Sunday. Make that Sunday, it says here. And Pinjarra are playing Shoalwater in the last game of round one, and that's at Sir Ross McClarty Park. So that looks like it's going to be quite an exciting round one, mainly because other than one or two clubs where I know there's a little bit of player movement and, some have advertised it through their socials and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, I don't really know. So it's like I said, like unwrapping that Christmas present from someone you got no idea, and you just unwrap it and you go, oh, and it's either going to be good, bad, or indifferent. I'm sure it'll be good. So I'll get around on Saturday and probably head out to a few of the games and pop my head in and sort of see how things are going. And I'll look forward to seeing what the results will look like. So that's round one, A-grade Wiley Cup. Just emphasising that one Wiley, that name Wiley. So we know the history. We've discussed it numerous times. A lot of you guys out there know a hell of a lot more about it than I do. But that name has just shone in lights in the last few weeks or the last few months. If we go back 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the WNCL, the Women's National Cricket League, has got off the ground. They started a few weeks ago, and the first couple of games, it was 3 games, I believe, they played, WA. Young Georgia's played 2 of those, Georgia Wiley. So she's making her way through the ranks and playing state cricket and doing very, very well. She's got another contract with the Perth Scorchers, the champion Perth Scorchers. They're the hunted as well this season. And the WBBL season starts in 10 days' time, I believe. So our own Georgia Wiley, she'll be out there pulling on the orange, and we'll all be behind her and hoping the girls go back-to-back this season. But you'd have to have been living under a rock, under a bigger rock, under an even bigger rock in the super pit in Kalgoorlie to not know that another young star from the region, and he happens to have the name Wiley as well, young Teague Wiley, younger brother. He's still the brother of Georgia, the younger brother of Georgia. Continued on his merry way in first-class cricket. So, again, for those that have been, I don't know where you've been if you don't know this stuff, but end of the day, Teague just through weight of runs, sheer weight of runs, be it for Rockingham Mandurah, be it for any team he played for, playing for Australia. He was the leading run scorer for Australia in the Under-19 World Cup. Made the ICC Under-19 team of the World Cup. just having an outstanding little period. His development has been amazing. Basically found his way into the WA Shield side, the last round of the season proper of the Sheffield Shield, which they had to win to get through to the grand final. Did a great job, made 40-odd, held his spot, got into the Sheffield Shield final. So his second first-class game in his career for WA was a Sheffield Shield final. And we only went and won the damn bloody thing. So plenty of cricketers have sweat blood. They have cried. They have broken bones. They have torn muscles. They have done everything chasing that elusive Sheffield Shield. We've got to so many finals, but haven't got over the line. This young kid played his second game, just happens to play in a team that won, made, I think it was 40-odd again, contributed very well, and just had an amazing time and worked hard, got his rewards, just rewards, did fantastically well, and we're all proud. All very, very proud. None more than obviously the family, the Wileys, who we know and love. And this season it's just continued. So the Sheffield Shield season has just started. Match just they should have been playing today, but just happened to finish a day or so early in the Sheffield Shield against none other than New South Wales. Yep, that mob, the mob that tend to bloody win everything, provide half of the Australian team, if not more. Teague only went out and not only played another game, so he's played his third first-class game against a team that had at least one test star in one Nathan Lyon, one of the greatest bowlers that the country has ever produced. The man's got 400 plus test wickets, played over 100 tests. He is a star of the game. And young Teague went on to make 100. He made his maiden first-class century, playing his third game of Shield cricket. It's the third game of first-class cricket. That is an amazing achievement. He is the youngest player since Ricky Ponting to make a first-class century, Sheffield Shield century here in Australia. The caliber of players that he sits in that achievement is phenomenal. And watching that innings, which I'm sure a lot of you have, if you haven't, please do yourself a favor, get onto YouTube, get on somewhere, you'll find it. You'll find the highlights package. Cricket Australia, they're cricket.com.au, you'll find a little highlights package. You'll find article after article after article. He's front page, back page, middle page. He's everywhere and well-deserved. And to see the young man do so well, to see how a region, how many people are so proud to watch the young man do so well. I mentioned in a little post just to try to sort of jump on the bandwagon, I guess, and not too proud to sort of say that. It wasn't that long ago he was playing, I think it was D grade for Mandurah, playing with Dad, as young players do, and fathers enjoy. That's one of the joys, is to play with his son. So, little kid playing with his dad in D grade. It wasn't that long ago. It was probably about 3 years ago or so, 3 or 4 years ago. And now he's taking on, some of the elite cricketers that are running around, not only Australia, but the world. And so well done, Teague. We're all proud of you. We're all behind you, and we hope to see your form continue, and hope to see WA continue to do well. And just remember, he's a friend of the show. We had him on a couple of times last year, and no doubt we'll try to get him on again at some stage. So the Wiley family, the Wiley Cup, the story. It's just continuing to really put the region, I guess, Peel Cricket Association and everything on the map, as do all of you out there. So, look, I think that'll probably wrap up the first edition of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Again, proudly supported by our sponsors there in Retrovision. Oh, no, this way. No, I'll get out of that way. ESA Sport and Everlast Sports Drinks. This has been Oratio Santalucia. I am the host of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Remember, log in to the YouTube channel or on our website, peelcricket.com, to round one of the Retrovision Premier T20 League, the game between Singleton Irwinians and White Knights Baldivis, 6:30 p.m. live ball-by-ball coverage. Until then, until the next edition of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, good luck to everyone. Let's see lots of runs. Let's see lots of wickets. Let's see some amazing catches, and let's just have ourselves an amazing 22-23 season. Adios, amigos.